As the pioneer in India in creating awareness on organ donation and as a founder of Mohan Foundation, a charity non-governmental organization, the organization is established in 1997, which works in the field of organ donation and transplantation. Those of you who want to know what is Mohan Foundation, it stands for Multi-Organ Harvesting Aid Network. Dr. Shroff's, those roots are in Bihar. Chennai is where he did his schooling, and it is where he came back from England to start the renal transplant or the kidney transplant unit in SRMC in 1995. He started the kidney transplantation program in his hospital in 1995, and in 1996, a long time before, he implemented the deceased donation transplantation program. And as a founder trustee of Mohan Foundation, he has been actively promoting the concept of deceased donation after brain death since 1997. Without wasting much time, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Salvi. Am I audible to all of you? Yes. And thank you, Suchitra. Thank you, Deva Prasad, for inviting me to your esteemed club of Rotary. I'm privileged and honored to be with you all. And, you know, I will try and share my screen and I'll try and get started. Just give me a one. So, you know, Shelby very rightly said that this is a very auspicious day today. And, you know, with especially the Ganesh Chaturthi. And I'm going to, you know, talk to you a little bit more, and I'll enlarge from where she left, and I'll bring him back into the picture as well. Let me just skip this. I have no disclosures to make, and this is my team to which we owe everything. We have 9 locations in India. You know, Chennai is our head office. We have about 60 people working in the field in organ donation all over the country, and they work extremely hard to promote organ donation. So let's go back to Ganesh Chaturthi and our Lord Ganesha. I want to tell you a little bit more. Besides him being the first to have a head transplantation, this is a xenotransplantation. But if you see the picture of Ganesha, there is a little bit more to his picture than just the head. You know, he's one of the gods who is not in great shape. You know, he's a little obese. And, you know, you just wonder why other gods are so handsome and goddesses are so beautiful. Why is Ganesh so, you know, obese? One of the reasons is after transplantation, we start a medication called steroids. And when we give steroids, we put on weight. And maybe Lord Ganesha was on steroids. That's why he's chubby. And when we give steroids, there's also craving for eating sweets, you know, carbohydrates. And that's why probably he has this laddu in his hand, you know. He's got craving for carbohydrates. More than that, you know, look at what is this mouse doing, you know, down here in this picture. If, you know, it was not for the mouse, there will be no medical research and there will be no transplantation. All our research is done on the mouse. So that is more than just, you know, the picture of a head on the, you know, a body of a human being. So Lord Ganesha is truly our god of transplantation, I call him. I just very briefly want to tell you the story of organ transplantation. The first successful kidney transplant in the world happened in Brigham Hospital in 1954 by this gentleman, plastic surgeon called George, you know, Murray. And Joseph Murray went on to win the Nobel Prize for this feat. And you know what he said? I'm very inspired by what he said and what you guys are doing also the same, in fact. He says, service to society is the rent we pay for living on this planet. And so I'm very inspired by his words, and I do follow him and, you know, learn from him. In India, we did the first successful kidney transplant way back in 1971 in Tamil Nadu in CMC Hospital in Vellore. And this is the team which did the first transplantation. So when can you donate? When can you donate organs? A living person can donate to a patient. One can donate after natural death, or you can donate organs after brain death. And I'll tell you a little bit about each type of donation. What can a living person donate? A living person can donate because you have 2 kidneys, one you can spare and one you should care for. So you can donate 1 kidney. You can also donate a part of your liver. That's what living person can donate. But the commonest donation is usually blood donation. And of course, there's eye donation after death as well. And I'll tell you about that. After natural death, once somebody is dead, you can donate mostly tissues like eyes, skin, heart valves, bone. So you can't donate solid organs at that stage. That requires a special condition. It requires a condition called brain death to donate everything, including your liver, lungs, kidneys, pancreas, heart, everything you can donate after brain death. And I'll tell you what brain death is. You can recycle yourself literally after, if there is brain death and you go on to do organ donation. If you wish to donate the eyes of your loved ones, what do you need to do? You must remember a few things. Because this is the commonest donation.
It's a lot of people on here. It's 132 people.
In eye donation, it is usually the cornea which is taken out, which is the front portion which is transparent of the eyes. And if you wish to donate the corneas of your loved ones, keep the eyes moist using a wet cotton swab and keep the eyelids closed. Don't keep it open, otherwise the eyes will get dry. Avoid using fans above the body. If you have an air conditioner, switch that on, because that way the eyes will not get dry. And then contact the nearest eye bank. The procedure itself takes 10 minutes for a doctor or a technician to do. It doesn't take very long. And it doesn't disfigure the body. In India, we need a lot of corneas. At the moment, we do close to about 30,000 pairs of corneas. There is 60,000. We do 60,000 corneas, which are collected every year. And mostly comes from home donation. And Tamil Nadu leads. Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, these are 2 states which leads in cornea donation in this country today. I also want to tell you about brain death. I told you that after brain death, you can literally donate anything and everything in the body. Brain death is a condition where you have some bleeding in the brain, or if you have a tumor in the brain is your nerve center. Brain is your conductor of your body. If the brain is gone, everything is gone. So if the brain dies, but your heart and lungs are kept going, in that situation, it's a controlled situation where you can donate all your organs. And our law accepts brain death as a form of death to help increase organ donation. These patients are usually in intensive care units being ventilated most commonly after head injury in our country. Most of our brain deaths comes from head injury. See, this is a picture of the head where you don't have any circulation in the head. So there is no circulation, the brain is gone. It's called empty skull sign. And as I said, in our country, there's a huge number of road traffic accidents. Almost 167,000 people die in roads due to road traffic accident, and almost 60% have brain injury. So there are many, many potential donors in the country. It is said that every 3.7 minutes, life is lost on the road. So before I go further, I just want to take out one more picture. Let me see if we'll play of what brain death is. Can you see anything happening on the screen or not happening? Can you see the brain death pictures? A flash? No?
No, sir.
No.
One second, just give me 1 second. This is important for you to understand the whole thing. So let me just try and share screen again. Just give me a minute. 1 second. I hope if it plays, it will be good, yeah. Can you see this picture now?
Yes,
sir, you can.
So every second the brain is supplied with blood, okay? And after head injury, what happens in this place? Because your head is, your brain is enclosed in the skull, which is very hard. So when there is bleeding, the blood actually, strangulates the brain, and the brain is gone. And there's no circulation in the brain. Blood completely stops in the brain when there's bleeding. And when that happens, your brain is dying. So you can It can be intensive care with brain death, where your heart and lungs are kept going, but your brain is gone. And in this situation, if organ donation happens, almost every organ can be donated by someone. And this requires a little bit of understanding. This requires a little bit of pre-sensitization of the public in the country, because when that happens, it's an extremely difficult situation. There's a lot of grief happening in the hospital of the loved ones whose loved one is brain dead. And at that stage, to ask for organs is not easy. So a pre-sensitization of understanding the concept of brain death actually helps us in take that decision to donate, for a relative to donate. Let me just go back to the slides now. So many head injuries in this country, unfortunately, and many brain deaths, but most of the organs go wasted because public is not aware. Doctors don't ask, they're hesitating to ask, and that's why we lose a lot of organs. And that's why I wanted you to understand this concept very well before I proceed, because this is the basis of my whole talk. And as Mohan Foundation, we promote this concept. Who can donate organs and tissues? Anyone can donate, either an organ or tissue or both. And at what age, up to what age? Up to, from newborn to 70 years. Hearts can be donated up to 60 years. Lungs can be again donated up to 60 years. Eyes can be donated up to 100 years. Skin can be donated up to 85 years. How to donate organs? The most important thing is to have a conversation with your family if you wish to donate your organs after death. Because one of them needs to give consent to the doctors for your organ donation. If death happens at home, then what do? You can donate eyes or corneas or skin or bone. So you need to contact the nearest eye bank. The loved one needs to contact the nearest eye bank. If a death happens in hospital, if there's natural death, you can still donate kidneys, liver, lungs, heart in some hospitals, not all hospitals. But after brain death, all organs and tissues can be donated. This business of natural death and donation is still evolving in the world, and this will take time in India to happen. Within what time can you donate some of these solid critical organs which are important? Few organs in the body are very important, including the brain, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the intestine, the pancreas, the kidneys. These are all important organs. Without these organs, you can't survive. So there is a time factor, If you take out the heart and lung within 6 hours, you have to transplant them. If you don't transplant them take it out and transplant them within 6 hours, you lose the opportunity. The liver needs to be transplanted within 12 hours from one person to another person. Pancreas within 24 hours, and kidneys can be kept for almost 48 hours. So this is the time we have. This is the shelf life of the organs. You can't take out the organs and store them. Remember that. They need to be taken out and transplanted almost immediately. Is organ donation legal in India? Yes, it is legal. As long as there is no organ commerce, as long as there is no buying and selling of organs, it is common. It is legal, and the law has been existing for the last 25 years now. It accepts brain death as a form of death. But when we started past the law, people said this law will never work in India because of the poor infrastructure, poor socioeconomic structure, poor awareness, strong cultural and religious beliefs. So there was a huge problem in early years when we started this program in 1995 in India. A lot of challenges to start this program after brain death, because it is actually brain death in which I keep saying it is very important, because it is in this condition that you can literally recycle your whole body. And that's why it's so important to understand this. And we had a very few hospitals in India which were doing cadaver or this disease donation after brain death organ transplant. And I had reached India from England in 1995 at a very opportune time. I had learned all this in England, and I came in 95. Law was passed in 95 to Ramachandra, and we started the program in Chennai. And we received support from well-accomplished transplant surgeons and physicians at that time. And this is a clip I'm going to play, this video, hopefully you'll see this, of an early transplant which was done by Dr. Cherian, became Cherian.
On September 23rd, 1995, a successful heart transplantation was done in Vijaya Hospital.
Is he audible to all of you?
Private hospital in the country to have done.
Is he audible to all of you? The video?
Dr. Shah, please increase the volume.
The volume is probably maximum.
Yeah.
Okay, that means people. Try this now, okay?
To be on September 23rd,
What about now?
Yes,
Yeah?
sir. Good.
Okay, thank you.
Now it's good, doctor.
September 23rd, a successful heart transplantation was done in Vijaya Hospital, the first private hospital in the country to have done the transplant. And the recipient was Mrs. Maimun Devi, a Muslim lady. Donor, Hema Sundarajan, a
So we lost Dr. Cherian's audio, sir.
Shiva.
It looks like network problem on Dr. Shroff's end.
Sirs,
Yeah.
Shiva, are
Dr.
you
Shah.
finding out?
Dr. Shah.
I don't think he's
Maybe I'm a
he's
freezer.
online.